Hello, welcome back and welcome in. My name is Nikki Wheeler. If you're interested in gaming, go subscribe to my other channel and follow my Twitch to see my gaming live. Now, let's start this video. Today, I will be discussing Qveen Herby, a rapper, singer, and songwriter most notable for the song Sugar Daddy. She began her musical career as a member of pop duo Carmen, with her now husband Nick Noonan, releasing cover songs on YouTube. The duo signed with Epic Records and released their debut EP, Hello, on May 7, 2012. To poor reviews from critics. Despite this, the EP was a commercial success, supplemented by the hit single Broken Hearted, which peaked at number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts and peaked within the top 10 of the charts in Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. The duo went to release a full-length album in 2014, but this didn't see as much success. Then, in late 2016, they independently released Leo Rising, the second full-length piece, having 6 singles and breaking at 27 on the top independent albums. After this album in 2017, all Carmen-branded sites were rebranded as Qveen Herby, with a post saying, "Carmen is dead, long live the Queen." With the announcement came along the first EP, simply titled EP1. A 5-song hip-hop and R&B record, with the most popular and only single Busta Rhymes, where Qveen Herby raps just as nearly as fast as Twista and Busta Rhymes himself. Other songs on the EP, like Gucci, hit the hip-hop feel with the melody and simple yet cunning lyrics. Adrian Glover of Salute magazine rated the album a 4.7 out of 5, praising Herby's real vocal talent that has aerodynamic chops as a singer and as a rapper. EP1 was a powerful introduction to the scene as a rebranded artist, as it was independently released with Noonan's label Checkbook, peaking at 37 on the US independent albums. Within that same year, Herby released a second EP titled EP2, another 5-track record leading with the song Wifey, another hip-hop and R&B track, just like the other songs on this record. It's about confidence, while this one is telling her man that she's a keeper. This song was also used in an episode of Ozark on a hit Netflix show. Now, EP3 was the third official work of Herby, releasing only about 6 months after the last. Another 5 songs were added to the discography, including All These Hoes and Sade in the 90s. This is a smooth trap R&B crossover track, and it oozes charisma and subtle flexes. The title is an obvious reference to the band and artist Sade, which is one of the many R&B inspirations Herby took while growing as an independent artist herself. EP4 was the next release in 2018, yet another 5-track record, with first single being Alone, the second track on the EP. It is a moody R&B song with notes from SZA, as she calls out for wanting a past lover back. It had some smooth, lush style of vocal arrangements and was pretty much a perfect track. Another song on this EP titled Nintendo is one of my personal favorites from Qveen Herby, where she's comparing being played by a guy to playing a Nintendo, stating, "You play me out like a Nintendo. I keep my feelings on the down low." And with the backing music on this track, it just plays so well, and I could listen on repeat pretty much forever. Next is EP5, the 5th work from Herby, containing the song BDE, stating the obvious, "That's my energy, big energy. Never let a fake hoe get in front of me." Just with that lyric alone, I think we can all guess what the song is about. It's very mellow for the most part, with a strong backbeat, and I do love the music video alongside it. It's a very simple song that hits R&B right on the nose. EP6 includes the iconic track Mint. Herby makes references to Drake and Travis Scott, and this was actually the first song that she released that cracked over 1 million streams on Spotify that isn't a single. Talking about lyrics, I think this song is definitely one of the best on the EP. The rhyming had me pretty much vibing throughout the whole entirety of it, as did the rest of the EP. Vitamins was the first song on EP7, and it didn't disappoint when it came to vibrancy and uniqueness. The project intro is an ode to self-care, combining angelic background vocals and a deadly bass. Another song on the EP was called Cheap Talk. Herby raps more on this track, saying, "Got your mouth a running, but you're popping lip for nothing. Losing bags, you be talking cheap." Obviously, the song is about someone talking a whole lot, but doesn't have any sort of backing to the statement. Next, EP8 was released, and is one of the most popular because of the song Sugar Daddy, as I have talked about before. The playful Sugar Baby anthem sees Qveen taking on the role of a gold digger trying to trick rich sugar daddies. The intro to the song just hits so differently, using the keyboard for such a powerful and low start to move into the chorus being in your face and scandalous. EP8 also includes Dump Truck, a track that uses vocal manipulation and more heavy bass to add emphasis on the topic. Now we get into EP9, it has the song Chakras, one of my personal favorites from her as a whole. The song title is a reference to the 7 wheels of energy throughout the body. Through the bass-driven mid-tempo track, Qveen is preaching her good energy and vibes that she's very well known for, and surpasses the haters by keeping her energy clear. Another track was Pre-Roll. It marks the last single on the project, which concludes the EP eras for Queen Herby, talking about how she turns her downfalls into hits and how she promotes positive energy. While this was the final EP for the EP era, that doesn't conclude all of the EPs released. After this project, Herby released A Woman in 2021, her debut album with 12 tracks. The first single was Juice, a fast-paced rap and R&B track. It was probably one of the most successful off the album. The verses and chorus were as solid as you can get, and the self-awareness she puts into pretty much everything she writes is, for a lack of a better word, refreshing. The bass line that starts about 2-ish minutes in reminded me of a mid-90s breakbeat genre. The next single was Naughty Girl. The flow, aesthetic, and lyrics of this song was definitely a self-insurance track. It shows her individuality and 100% made the album 10 times better than it already was. So while Mother Teresa was not a single on the album, it was one of my favorites off the album. It was one of the only songs that she produced that sounds not as R&B like, but more pop like. It's obvious that it still has the iconic R&B sound, but it definitely hits other genres as well, which is a good way of genre blending, especially since it treads well with the rest of the album. Only 5 months after this album was released, we got another EP titled Halloween, a Halloween-themed EP with 7 songs, including Abracadabra, Prada or Nada, and Obituary. This new era allowed Qveen to be more quirky as she pulled more into the hip-hop and dance pop. A lot of comments under her videos from this EP compare her to Missy Elliott, and also Fergie when she sings higher notes. Another 6 months go by before another EP, Mad Queen, was released. It included the now TikTok hit Rabbit Hole, I Hate You, and F Myself, an alternative pop and R&B rap record that continued the quirkiness of the last, where she sings about the main theme of like Alice in Wonderland and like her being the Red Queen. Jealousy is definitely a main topic as she talks about it in F Myself and I Hate You. This personally has definitely got to be one of my favorite releases from Qveen thus far, as it has some unique bass and heavy backing instrumentals that sound a little contorted or muffled, I guess is the best way to put it. It brings a nice pace to the lyrics, and now we finally have The Muse, the final EP thus far, released in February 2023. A 7-track record with, again, R&B inspired alternative pop and hip-hop genres. Thematically exploring subjects such as finding inspiration within yourself and discovering your own quote-unquote muse, as well as toxic relationships and traits. One of the tracks that stood out to me was Marie Antoinette, as it again uses the keyboard to begin a low and powerful intro that gets into more of a funky beat with the chorus. The verses can be seen as aggressive and vulgar on top of the animated and stimulating music, though I like it and appreciate it. Each one of these releases was a new era for Queen Herby's music growth. Each have the sound that make Queen Herby her, but each different enough to tell that she was still experimenting throughout her career as an individual artist. Although I do like her most recent releases over some of her older ones, I appreciate everything she has released and at the pace she has released. I don't think I know pretty much any other artist who can produce such amazing and thoughtful lyrics and music at such a high speed. Obviously, being independently signed gives them more reign and say on what they choose to release, which is why there was such a change in the type of music released from Carmen to Queen Herby. I'm just glad that she finally is releasing music at her own speed and what they're happy with. Finally, I wanted to do a ranking on the EPs. This is my favorite part. There are a total of 12 EPs that I mentioned in this video, and since there is no other album to be compared to, I won't be ranking that. A Woman will definitely be hard to top, though, when she does release a new album, and I'm very excited to see it. At number 1, I have Mad Queen. Number 2 is The Muse. Number 3 is EP1. Number 4 is EP6. Number 5, EP3. Number 6, EP4. Number 7 is EP7. Number 8 is EP9. Number 9 is EP2. Number 10 is EP6. Number 11 is EP8. And number 12 is Hallow Queen. And with that, I think I'll end the video there. Queen Herby is one of my favorite artists currently, and is a quirky and eccentric compared to most R&B artists, but is definitely a queen in her own palace. I highly suggest you give her music a listen, and until next time, bye guys.